It's time for another Sunday morning talking shit show. This time I'm going to call it the naked truth. Last week's 2 weeks ago, the topic was white privilege, and this week's topic is the naked truth. I like that title. Here's why. By the way, most of the shit scooping is actually already done. Now I'm doing this sort of residual work, like moving the massage belt around from horse to horse, and we're going to bring some horses in from the paddock. Yes, rapid, and we're going to feed them. They like that. But the usual Sunday morning work that we do. So, it's a gloomy December day. It's cold, it's cloudy. This is what winter in France looks like. And this is the time of year when we have to renew our trainer's licenses for next year. And a lot of people are not doing that. This, by the way, is a Corella, is a massage unit that they're a little crabby when I put on, but once they have it on, they love. It's a nice thing on a Sunday. Not all the horses get out on a Sunday. She did, actually. She's racing this week, though. Goodness, her hair is all standing on him. She is a crabby mare, Corella. Oops, too much time. We set the time. We set the massage. That's it's going. They love it. Right. So December, time to renew your trainer's license. Just got news this week that another small trainer like me is quitting because he's had a really bad year. We've had an absolutely catastrophic shit year, the worst since I've been training. Since 2012. Okay, not the worst since I've been training. Worst since 2012. 12 years is a long time. We've had decent results, but this year has been a struggle. And when that happens, you ask all the questions about why. And I have, it could just be bad luck. Could be that I've just turned into a shit trainer. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I've managed to get these horses across the wire into the winner's circle for 12 years before this. So I don't know how I suddenly forgot how to train, but I think it's more a question of we had a combination of horses this year that was not a good combination. We just had, as a matter of fact, we're in winter cleaning mode because in mid-month and mid-November, we had 18 horses in training, which for me is a good number. I never want more than 20. And you can leave him, he's fine. We're getting a guest dog for the afternoon. And I love you. Bye. Uzo! Uzo, no. That's all. Uzo, come here. We have to catch Uzo. Come on, Uzo. Uzo! Where is he? Where did he go? Uzo! Ala! Oof! No. Easy. Okay, go, run. This is Uzo. He's a guest dog. He's staying for the afternoon. No, your mom, you can stay. Anyway. So yes, we had 18 horses in November, and today we were at 14, and one just went, so we were at 13. By the end of the week, we should be at 11. Now, what happened? I had to get rid of horses that were just not going to do anything on the track. Uzo's mom is leaving. He's stressed about that. Uzo. It's okay. We're here. Ooh, wee. Ooh. You can't chase them. No, you have to stay here with us. So we had a lot of things go on. We got some horses from the hippodrome in, what's that? Yeah, we have to close the gate. I don't have a beep. Do you have a beep? All right, let's walk to the car. We have to get horses in from the paddock anyway. So, Uzo, before I let you go, we're going to close that gate. We got horses, Uzo, aptly named dog. We got horses from the track in Greece when the track in Greece closed. But the horses that we got, it was complicated is the best way to say it. Some of them just were clearly from the beginning not going to be good enough. And some of them, Uzo, okay, yeah, you know what? Everybody in the car, good. That's a perfect place for you while we close the gate. No. Hold on. Right. Uzo. All right. Housekeeping done. Gates closed. Puff, get out of the car. Oh, the destructive power of dogs. Out! Out! No, out, not in, out. Puff, out. Where was I? Of the Greek horses that we got, 3 were clearly not going to be good enough. 3 others might make the cut, but one of them was an old horse and he had just 200 miles on the clock, and we tried a bit, but it didn't work, so he left. Another one will probably work out, but the owner got fed up because when you bring a horse to France and it's an old horse and it's run in another country, you have to run 3 or 4 races to get a handicap mark and get it set up. And while the owners say we understand, they don't understand. So by the time we did all that, the owner said, okay, you're useless. I'm moving it to another trainer. And I said, okay, good luck. I totally understand that. No problem. And so we have one of those horses left that changed owners, and I think he might do okay. We'll see. So we're down to 1 on that front. We had 7 2-year-olds, which for a small yard like mine is a hell of a lot of 2-year-olds. You need 2-year-olds. That's fine. I don't mind them. But the 2-year-olds that I get aren't the crop, and they aren't going to be very precocious. So we've had to wait a long time, and we've just started to run. We ran 1 this summer, but she wasn't quite ready, and now unfortunately she's had an injury, so she's done. We had another one come in that she's the one that left this morning. She just won't be good enough. We could see really right away that it was going to be complicated to do anything with her. Nothing wrong with her. Totally nice horse, but if you look at her, she's 2 different horses. 1 horse behind, 1 horse in front. And if I were a small trainer, a permit holder maybe that had plenty of money and time, maybe she might work out for somebody. But for us, it was just too much of a question mark. So we let her go do something else. We've got how many left? 1, 2, 3, 4 2-year-olds left. Of those, 1 won't be a 2-year-old. He won't even run until he's the end of his 3-year-old season, probably. 1 is racing, but he's like clueless at the moment, and we have to keep racing. I think the penny will drop for him. I think he'll be okay. We have another one that we have some hopes for. We haven't debuted yet. You always have hopes when you haven't debuted yet. And we have another one that's running and should do okay. So we'll see. Hey, Gray Horse, you want to come home? I have to bring these guys in from the paddocks, which is another place where sometimes, if I take that horse, are you going to have a little conniption fit there? Okay. This is Goldo Boy. But we were talking about trainers quitting. Actually, we weren't talking about the specifics of where I am. Is anybody watching this, or are we just all on our own yos? Oh, okay. Hi, all 4 of you. So trainers are quitting, and the trainers that aren't quitting are certainly thinking about it. Some of the trainers that are quitting are older trainers who are retiring, bless them, and that's okay. And a lot of the trainers who are quitting, we won't even hear about because nobody knows who they are, which is part of the problem in the first place. So they tried it, they gave it a shot with a couple of horses, didn't work, they quit. They toiled away in relative obscurity, and that's how their career started and ended. But the main thing is that, I'm actually on the panel that gives out licenses. I'm on the committee on the oral exam for the public trainers test in France. So I've seen people come and go, and I've seen surprises, and I've seen the good and bad. Why does anybody want to do this job? It's interesting. A friend of ours who was an Irish trainer who's gone back to Ireland now, who was a very smart guy. I like him a lot. I miss him. He's training over there in Ireland. And he said, I'm pretty good at numbers. And this idea of bringing in horses in training and racing them and living on that, he said, doesn't work. Guy, I mean, it's not, you could be the best manager, it doesn't support a high enough price for everything to be paid for. Because the day rates for training horses where I am run 50, if you can believe it, up to maybe 80 a day. Some of the very big trainers like Faber, those guys charge 95, 120 because they can. and they're paying for everything on that. Those of us who aren't charging enough, we can't charge enough because I'm at 60 a day. I need to be at 70 to pay for everything, not to make any money. I don't make any money. And there are 430 or so public trainers in France, and I would say 420 of them don't make money. They work for free. They try to plug the holes as best they can, and that's just the truth of it. It's just the way it is. So why do we do this? Well, horses. And most of us have another way. Like, I have a husband who works, and if I didn't have a husband who works at a real job, with real with a salary, not a big one, but enough of one that we can eat. Otherwise, I would definitely be one of the trainers that are quitting. The other thing is that we own our yard, so that makes a huge difference. So we have equity. It's almost paid for. So when we do stop this nonsense, no, honey, come here. Okay, do you not? I think you do need it though. When we finally stop, no, don't let me out yet. I'm gonna have to I do want to put a shifty in your mouth because I don't trust you. Yes. This is Goldo Boy. He's the brother of Jacko Boy. So I'm really excited to have him. Easy, my dear. He's 3 years old, and he hasn't run for us yet, but he will next week. He's already a winner, but the training that he came from at Mom and Dad, the breeder's house, just really wasn't his cup of tea. Okay, easy. Yes, he's wearing a hideous rug. This is a paddock rug. You can close that. And no, I'm coming back for the rest of them, so it'll be okay, I think. So we are able to do this. We are not, we're behind on a lot of things financially, like a lot of trainers are. And that's kind of the reality of the situation. It's easier to swallow that when it's sunny in July and you're at Longchamp than it is when it's the 1st of December and you have to put a horse on a truck to go to run in Deauville at night. That's kind of depressing. Come on, bud. Up. Yes, dogs. Dogs running fast. Come on. Let's go. Up. But it is depressing to see people quit, and new trainers start all the time with big hopes and not much realistic expectations in terms of finances. But last group of trainers, there was said, "Oh, I'm not too ambitious. 40 or so horses will do me just fine." and I'm gonna charge 55 euros a day, and I'm gonna take home a salary of 3,000 euros a month, and I'm gonna take my vacation in, well, November is a slow month, so I can take my vacation in November, but I hope to get away for a week in the summer with my family too. And which made us all laugh quite a bit on the jury, because yeah, they don't come much more clueless than that. But yeah, what we do is not normal. It's not a normal job. It's a lot of work, and you have to love it. And I do love it. I do love a lot about it. There's a lot about it I don't love. Mainly being in debt most of the time. Nobody loves that. But when you take a horse like this that you can maybe do something really nice with and take it to a race course and make some money. Where's my hoofpick down there? Okay. That's why we do it. We don't do it really for anything else. So, oops, But, okay, so there's a new trainer coming to me on the feet, an English guy. He's all excited. He's like, "Oh, France, the land of opportunity." For prize money, yes, compared to where he came from. I'm not sure he knows about the MSA yet, but we'll see how that goes. The MSA is our Social Security agency that pays for our universal health care and a lot of other things, apparently. And the MSA charges us a lot of money. To give you an example, I have the writers make 2,000 euros a month net. And in order for me to pay them 2,000 euros a month net, it costs me close to 3,000. So while I would love to pay them more, the minute I pay them more, the MSA takes a lot more. So you have to be really careful with that. And it costs, and the staffing costs are the biggest cost that we have in running the business because of that. Because I have 3 people working for me, so that's more than 3 full pensions of 3 horses going to that. Probably four horses, Tim, would you say? Going to that for the 3. Yeah. 4.5. Yeah. So we need 4.5 horses in training just to pay for the staff. Now, if some people say, well, that's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to have any staff. I'm going to do it all myself. When I started and I was 40, I did a lot myself too, but I'm 61 now. And if you're young and you want to work really hard, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you can do a lot of it yourself. You could do 5 or 6 horses. I don't know, maybe even 10 by yourself. But also, that means that your horses are working by themselves. They're not working with other horses. It's very hard to train a horse one by one. They really need to train at least 2 or 3 at a time. They're herd animals. They talk to each other. They get inspiration from each other, just like you all do in your offices. And it's hard to work a horse alone. It can happen, but it's hard. And you might think, well, I'll just hook into lots of some other trainers. Yeah, but that's not going to happen either, because they're not going to want to work the way you want to work, and plus they really don't want you tagging into their lot usually. So then what do you do? Well, I'll just hire this guy. He can ride. I'll just give him a 20. You can do that. It's called travail noir, black market work. And there are people who ride for that, and there are certainly people who use them. And it's a big, big risk, because if you're caught doing that in France, the penalties are, well, they'll put you out of business, basically. So, and if they have an accident, you're definitely out of business. So it's a risk. It's a risk that people take. I don't, and it's just too. Come on, give me your phone. There you go. Let's take the dirt out. It is his name. So the staff is your biggest cost if you have staff, and if you don't have staff, you're not going to be a circus trainer anyway. So at some point, you're going to have to wrestle with staff costs. And plus, there's a big shortage of staff, so you have to pay them more and more now just to even find anybody who will come and work for you. When I started in this business, people could make 1,500 euros a month. Now it's up to 2,000 is the minimum. Some are making 2,500. And in order to pay somebody 2,500, that's going to cost you almost $4,000, 4,000 euros a month. So keep that in mind when your pension is 60 euros a day. Oh, you have a little nick on your. Come on, give me this one. Good boy. Up, up, up. No. Let's try that again. And after staff costs, you have the actual costs of what the horses eat and sleep on. Bedding has gone up astronomically in the past few years. This is a Sunday, so he's already a little bit light on the bedding because he gets a whole new box tomorrow morning. Shavings cost 10 euros a bale. Paille de laine, which is the linseed sort of, I don't know what you call that in other places. Flax hay, I think is what they call it in English. Those are $7.50 a bale. Those are the pallets over there. We need 5 bales to do a new box. Actually 6. 1 bale of flax hay that we put at the bottom, and then the shavings on top of that. And each one will get 3 new bales on every Monday, which is behind you there. They're already set out. Hi, Uzo. I know. So that is a huge cost, and having them on straw would be, I would prefer that. It wouldn't necessarily be that much cheaper. The problem with straw is that our fumier, our muck heap, is quite far from the boxes, so it would be very difficult to work. And the other problem with straw is that it will fill up the muck heap in record time, which is another problem, because taking away the muck heap also costs money. Prof, get out of the chicken! Hey, Prof! Prof, out! Out! Damn it! Prof goes into the chicken coop and eats the remains of everything we throw in there for the chickens to eat, and you go in the garbage. Uzo, no! Uzo, no! Oh, these dogs. Nope. All right, everybody out. Hey, Uzo, out. Hey, dégage. No. Oh. So, what else costs? Feed. Feed costs between 800 and 1,000 a ton, depending on what kind of feed. We feed Reverdy, and depending on what kind of Reverdy we use, that determines the price. So, and how much we usually go. Well, when we had 18 horses, we went through 1.5 tons a month, but now we have a few less, so that'll slow down a little bit. And then there's hay, which costs $3.80 a ton, and we go through a lot of that. Ascot. This is Ascot Inn, a very big, leggy 2-year-old filly who has not yet run yet. This is another one of the 2-year-olds haven't run. And again, she's not really going to be a 2-year-old. We're going to get her debuted on the 15th of December in the only grass race in France I could find. Honey? And, but she's not going to have really a clue yet. So it's going to take more racing than that. I'm sure, I like this horse. I think she'll be okay. But again, this is a very late project. Okay, let's put the hoof pick away. Back to your box. Oh, sweetie. Can everybody hear me? Because I have a microphone on, but I have no idea if it's actually working. How many everybody's are there? 11 everybody's. Give us a like if you can hear what I'm saying. Come in, no. Get your head down. Good girl. Okay. Time for you to go home. Up. Oh, okay. Can any of the 21 hear us? Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui peuvent entendre ou pas? Parce qu'on a un micro qui, on n'est pas sûr si ça marche ou pas. Well, the French say like. Up, no. Hold. Okay, this is only bon. That's good. Right, so there's the feed, €1,000 a ton. Uzo? No. And, yep. Staff, bedding, feed. There's just the electricity and water costs of keeping the yard going. There is, gosh, what else are we paying? But the farrier and the vet. Yes, talked about the farrier and the vet. Each horse gets shod at least once a month. That usually runs you about 120. All right, no, you live here. Come on. Good girl. Right. And the vet depends, but you're looking at, well, the way we're looking at about 200 a month. And yes. No, stay here. No, stay here. Show me your feet. Anybody have questions? Good question. What else are we paying for, Tim? All the stuff that comes out of our own pocket, or Tim's pocket, is stuff like carrots, garlic, you know, supplements, stuff that. Up. Okay, come here. This one. Yeah, she'd probably go out if given a chance. Give me a second. No, honey, no. Paddocks are quite muddy, so. This is Ascot Inn. 2-year-old filly by Stunning Spirit. And she will one day run 2,400 to 3,000 meters on heavy ground. But for right now, we have to get her started. We've just gone through the gates a few times. She's going to go to Dirt Hall on the 15th of December. And hopefully debut. Look at, I mean, she's all legs. She's lovely. And she's actually picked up a lot of muscle on the front end, which is nice. I like to see that. I think that this will be one of the 2-year-olds who will be okay. We'll go down and get l'argent. A lot of the time on Sunday is spent back and forth to the paddocks. Wait, who has the massage? Probably finished. Cruella. Uzo. Yep. So, yes, the massage belt, that was an expense too, which Tim yelled at me for, but the horses do love it. Pick up. Back up. And there are supplements to the feed. The actual feed costs €1,000 a ton, but then there's stuff we put in the feed. It's supposed to have everything you need, but it doesn't really. I mean, you do have to put in some extra stuff. I like to give spirulina, which is a seaweed supplement that anybody who's a healthy eater knows about. That wouldn't include us, but that really helps them. It's an antioxidant, lots of vitamins, helps them build muscle, helps the immune system. Hey, Mo. This is Morheeb. Yep, want a massage? Yep. He's loving the massage. Oh, more, 3. Didn't he only run 2 for us? I thought he won 3 for us. Yeah, he won on the bottom. He won this year. Oh, there's a question and you can't read it. That's a good question. Hi, John Baxter. Yes, that is a question. It's under threat constantly. We just had a giant street demonstration a couple of weeks ago because the government wanted to raise the tax on bets, which would have taken $85 million out of prize money, and that would have been devastating because small trainers who weren't already on the ropes, and we all are, we'd go out of business. We cannot support a drop in prize money. So it's something that the industry is really fighting for. How long? Yes, we do. There's 2 videos you can find on the channel, one with Christophe Simeon, one with the president of France Gallo, discussing this issue. We seem to have won the battle, maybe not the war. We're okay for a little while. There's also some dispute within the industry between the PMU and the rest of us because some people blame the PMU for not doing all they can to make sure the betting handle stays high. Honestly, I train horses and I don't bet. I'm probably one of the few people who train horses and don't bet. I am a horrible gambler. I mean, horrible and not good at it. So I will occasionally put a bet on a horse for fun if I know the horse, or but I'm definitely not a horse player. By the way, some trainers really are, and this is how they plug the financial holes too. But I'm told that the PMU can do a better job. I believe the people who tell me this because they know what they're talking about, and it's out of my league. I know that everybody wants fixed odds betting like you have in England, and I don't know how fixed odds betting could work in the parimutuel model. Apparently there is a way. I don't know what it would be. Yeah, maybe Mark Kramer can address this because he is whatever you would call. He's a handicapper. What we call in English a handicapper, which is a turfiste in French, and he would know if he's happy with the PMU or not. Hi, can you please give me your head? This is l'argent. Yes, but no. Okay. There's really no meaningful grass for you to eat here, so let's just go home. This was no. What he wants to really. Can you put your head down, please? Thank you. Yeah. Oh, he's dug up some. Our paddocks are turning into. They used to be grass, and they will be again. But no, honey. Back up. Oh, and he actually rolled somewhere out here. Interesting. So, prize money. How long is it sustainable for? I don't know. Is the answer, but it'll probably stay decent as long as I'm still in business. I'm 61 years old. I'll probably train. Come here, honey. Put your head down. I'll probably train until somebody says, "No, you really have to stop now," or I just get fed up, which I would give maybe 5 or 6 years. I don't know. I think that's yeah. Or maybe I'll go till I'm 70. A lot of people do. Depends, of course, on health and no, honey, no, on health and finances because, like, yes, that's true. This place we paid for, and this is our retirement planning is we're sitting on it. So this and a little bit of pension money that we have coming in from back when we had real jobs, or when I had a real job. But yeah, no. Now he's on the grass, and I'm not sure I'm going to get him off it. Come on, let's go. So yeah, his prize money, but our prize money isn't the best in the world. The Americans have incredible prize money because they have the casino revenue, which we don't have. And Australian prize money is really good too, isn't it? I think. So I think the only place, I mean, in Europe, it's us. We're the only place in Europe you can race, and Asia's in a whole other league. No, honey, come on. But oh, come on, there's more grass. Believe me. So if prize money goes, we're going to end up in a situation like England. You'll have, well, it's going to be Godolphin versus Coolmore versus whatever's left of the Aga Khan, which is faltering because apparently the son doesn't really want to have anything to do with horse racing, and Princess Zara is like okay with it, but operative word being princess, being a woman there isn't going to give her a lot of pull to keep everything going. So yeah, small owners, small trainers will kind of fall by the wayside, I think, in that kind of situation. Okay, up. No, could you please come into your box all the way? Thank you. He's on straw, which you might ask why. He's on straw because our yard person decided when he got there here that he looked too depressed, and so we're going to put him on straw to make him happier. Are you happier? Sure. Hey, Prof. Oh, Prof and goats. No. Prof, this is what we put up with. Go get him, Pirate. You can give him a headbutt, then he'll go away. Yes, Clarice. Get out of there. Yeah, this horse, when he came, he's called L'Argent. He's already been trained in France. And it didn't work out very well. And so he went back to England, and then he came back. And I think he ran a really bad last race for me, but I think that I'm not worried about him. I think he'll be absolutely fine. He did look pretty depressed when he first came. It's true. Yep. And he doesn't know what apples are. Come here, give me your foot. Let's get out the mud. Any other questions from Australia? Or anywhere else? Prof has a question. Prof wants to know why those goats are not playing with him. Yep. If John Baxter is still there, is the claiming race system in Australia a big deal? Like, is that a way to buy horses? Because there's always debate about it. Obviously, the Americans, that's all they have. And us, I like the claimers a lot. Shoes. He has blue plastic shoes. And I don't know if claimers are a big thing. I know they have them in England, but it's like you're not supposed to really claim horses. Apparently it's looked down upon. So I don't know why they bother to have them. But really? Holy shit, how do you buy horses? Just privately and at like horses and training sales? If you don't want to buy yearlings. That's a good question. That's the other thing. How much horses cost? Well, in 18 years of training, never had I had a horse that cost more than, well, I had one horse that cost 42,000 euros. That was the topper for us. Most of the horses I've ever trained cost less than 20,000 euros. And some have gone into the, 25, 26,000, 28,000. But most of them are 20,000 and less. A lot of them are between 10 and 15,000. So when you look at trainer stats and what you've been able to do, we've been able to do really well with very cheap horses. The problem is when you do really well with cheap horses, that's all you get. Nobody wants to give you, a good horse. We were laughing the other day. I said to my staff, I said, okay, we know what we're doing with handicapped horses, not just handicappers, but like rehab horses. Wonder what would happen if anybody actually gave us 4 or 5, good horses. Be interesting. I may never know, but anyway, come on, Clarice, get out. Get out. No, Claire, no, don't go somewhere else. They came running up here because this box is usually open and they can hide with rival order, but we haven't opened that box for him today because he's too cold. He's doing fine with the door closed. Morheim's box is open. You can go play with Morheim.
There's an online
Hey! Sorry.
Horse sale every fortnight. Sometimes as many as 600 horses entered.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
Sell fractional ownership.
Yeah, fractional ownership. That's fractional ownership is people keep saying it's the future. It's the future for small owners, fractional ownership. But honestly, if you own 1/10 of 1/100% of something on myracehorse.com, are you really enjoying that? I mean, do you really think that's your horse? I mean, fractional ownership, we have a lot of these horses have 4 or 5 owners. But 4 or 5 owners, it's still your horse. You've got enough of a percentage. You can come racing. It's your horse. But when you have more than 10, in France, we're getting more and more people with 10 people on a horse. That's really got to be the limit for me. It's hard for me to get excited about syndicates. I know, well, first of all, syndicates are really, really hard to get going and market in France. We did one once, and it was good for us. We got a couple of nice horses. We won some races. Everybody was happy. But we got 1 or 2 new owners out of it, and I think there were some other ones that took parts after that. But yes, shout out to Roger.
By fractional ownership, I mean 5%
Okay, 5%, 10%, and those people are like they're listed as an owner of the horse. It's not just under like Black and Blue Racing, and that's some. some of
You
the,
can have as many as 20 registered owners on a horse.
yeah,
That's the same here.
same here. You can have as many as 20 registered. Everybody's got 5%. Yeah, that it's possible. Um, it's possible. And if you have a group, okay, if you have a group of friends and you know each other, but I don't know, more than that, these big things that people buy into, and they do love them in America, like Team Valor, they put a horse on the market for just drastically inflated prices, and like 30 seconds later, it's sold out. I don't get it, but okay, people are.
There weren't many.
Yeah.
You have one guy
Sort of the point guy, yeah. 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 Well, when we had our syndicate, we had 20 people in it, and well, it had one guy that like decided I worked for him and should probably come and scrub his toilets or something. I don't know. It was very weird. Uh, but I mean, because sometimes people buy a fraction. Hey, get out! Uzo, out. They buy a 5% of a horse, and then they kind of seem to think that Uzo, dogs, we cannot trust you for 2 seconds.
Uzo, get out of here.
As soon as I put this down, we're gonna go do the feed. Yeah, and fractional ownership. I mean, listen, trainers are not in a position to say no to anybody. You wanna buy a horse? You love Donald Trump and you still want to put a horse with me? I guess. Yeah, okay. Well, let's just hope we don't talk about that if we go to dinner. We take anybody who wants a horse can have one, but what we have to not do is like what we ended up doing with this too many horses in the yard that we're just never going to do anything. You have to have a horse that has some potential to win a race. Okay, all dogs out. Uzo, come on. It's time to do food.
These days,
come on.
I tend to own 10 to 20%.
Hold on, I have to turn the camera around and read it because, okay, these days I 10% spread the risk. Yes, usually a bunch of 4 to 8 owners, quite manageable. Yeah, that's very manageable. Actually, that's very manageable. And we like I said, we do that. Only a couple of our horses are owned 100% by the owner. A lot of them. Uzo, do not open the front door and let the heat out. The dogs know how to open the front door, which is, and there they go. Chicken, what are you doing in here? The other chickens are in the chicken house.
Are they?
There are 2 of them are. Yeah. Should we put you away? We'll get her out later. Okay. So yeah, the hay. This is the hay that costs 380, 400 euros a ton. Gets delivered in those big bales. They don't last very long because we try to give ad lib hay as much hay as they want without wasting it, which is not easy. No, Uzo out. And then this is the feed room. I get my feed delivered in bulk, which is great to keep the mice out. And but we have different kinds. This is the racing pellets, the mainstay, and that's for the young stock. That's breeding. And then this is for horses not in work. Oh, for good.
There's another comment.
Yes, I never go syndicate. I laugh at how people put 200 in it, and there's 500 of them. Exactly. I don't understand I don't understand I don't understand it. Period. But some people love it, and listen, if it brings new people into racing, okay, I guess, but it is a little bit odd. Oh, this is the top. Oh, that's the rival. So put them in the opposite order. Day after. Now I'm putting together the lunch buckets. They need to be fed. Now, on a Sunday, they haven't done much, so the feed changes on a Sunday because the ones that have gone out will be fed normally. The ones that have just gone in the paddocks or gotten a massage will be on light rations for the day. And then there are 2 that are on box recs that are always on light rations. And then just to give you an example, this is called Gastricalm. It's an anti-ulcer supplement. They do love it, and it does work very well. This is 100 euros, right? So that I need to give to them before I feed this. 3 horses on that. This is another gastric supplement. It's 150 euros for this tub. It's only 16 euros for this bag of Luzerne. But again, all these are extras that people don't think of. And the sugar beets. Yeah, we use sugar beets here. Not many French people do. They come in pelleted like that. And then we put the water on them and they turn into that. And so does anybody need this today? Because they did not go out. Those 2 that went out are on racing. So no. I do need a sack though of this, which I will go over and get. So yeah, syndicates and syndicates don't come to small owners anyway. The named syndicates. So I mean small trainers. So for us, syndicates, if you want one, you got to put it together yourself, which we do. And we've gotten a lot of new owners through France Gallo. I mean, we've gotten. No, let me rephrase that. That makes it sound like France Gallo has given us new owners, which is absolutely not the case and won't be. We have put through a number of dossiers of new owners that France Gallo approves, meaning we found a lot ourselves. So we do, and we don't mind. It's fine if somebody wants 10% of the horse. That's fine. My phone is ringing. Where's my phone? I'll just leave it and deal with it later. Wherever it is on a Sunday morning. This is one of our feeds that actually comes in a sack because it's not available in. Sorry, this is probably really loud in the microphone. Come on, get out, Prof. This is a lower protein, almost sort of like a riding horse pellet that we can use. It's high in fiber and lower in energy. And so this is our Sunday feed. Yep. Off. No, get up. So the feed on Sunday is, get out, Puff. Get out. More feed. This is the bolt. These are 2 more 3-year-olds here. Actually, it's gone. The horse that went away this morning. Oh, that shop. The buckets are in the wrong order. Lily is here. That must mean this is faster instead of Cruella. No, it's Cruella. Good. There we go. What else were we talking about? How much stuff costs, how much trainers make, they don't. I had an owner once. He was a rich owner. The rich owners are difficult. And he used to love to play us off each other. He had horses with a couple of different trainers, and he'd love to invite us all to dinner together to see basically who could, well, I shouldn't, anyway, who could impress him the most. And one day when we were at lunch without other trainers, exceptionally, I said to him, I said, you know, none of these trainers you have make any money. They're all in the same financial straits as anybody else. And he said, oh, well, if my horse isn't getting everything he needs because your finances aren't, you know, in order, perhaps, and that was when I lost the plot with him. And I said, if you think your horses are not getting everything you need with me, just move them somewhere else. And I got up and left the table. He did, and it was the best decision I ever made. But whether trainers are making money or not, and they're not, your horses generally and I'm speaking for myself, they get everything they need. We'll eat like dried pasta with butter before we cut back on anything here. And if we start doing that, then we'll stop. And most small trainers are in the same boat. Now, some will try to economies and ways, but that'll show up because if the results aren't there year after year, then there's a problem. We're having a bad year, but this is the first year in 12 that it's been like this, so I'm not worried yet. It'll come back. The year's not over. We could win some races. It's been a little bit dicey, but we've got some runners this week. We'll see what we can do. But at least we've got the results behind us, to say, it's okay. This is the sugar beet. This is a really handy thing on a Sunday because I don't know, but I like them. Where are you from? Well, how do you know it's a he?
Where are they from?
A man said, "Where is he from?" Yeah, there's a. Where are you from? You. Doing my head in. Where is doing my head in from? Australia? Europe?
It's like anything. The big stables make the big dollars.
They don't.
Because they have rich
owners. Yeah.
And buying and putting horses with them.
Yes, but you made a mistake. You said those are guys making the money. They're making the money on the race course. It's Australia.
They are
Yeah.
in Australia.
They're making the money on the race course, but I don't. But maybe in Australia, trainers make money. You know what? Wasn't there just a headline of one of the biggest trainers in Australia going bankrupt? And everybody was like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Yeah, that doesn't surprise me a bit because what we do is all smoke and mirrors. Like when you go to the race course, it's like champagne, great, our life is good. Wear your hat, life is okay." But back behind the scenes, it's not like that, and it's not like that for anybody. I mean, anybody. So even.
Waterhouse and James Cummings.
Right.
Cummings trains for Godolphin.
Great. How many trainers are there in Australia total? Any idea? And how many of those trainers? I mean, do they all have big strings? Are there small trainers? Are there medium trainers?
They've got two mates. The dad has small. The dads were small trainers, and one of them can afford to.
I rest my case. But that said, the bigger trainers, they're not rolling. Gay Waterhouse, okay, she's a legend, and it's like Andre Farber here. I don't think Andre Farber is worried about how he's going to put gas in his Bentley, but I got to tell you, most people below that's 400 trainers that are they're wondering how they're going to pay their hay bill, and they're looking at how they can economize on staff, and it's the way it goes. Right? Why do I do this on a Sunday? Well, I do the feed every day because I'm an absolute control freak about my feed, and nobody touches my scoop. But the boxes, and that one of the ways that we economize is that we work on Sundays because it's you have to pay the staff extra, and plus they need a day. I mean, this is my life, but it's not their life. They're employees. They're very good, but they have a life, and so we know that we basically have to do everything else. This is the. Okay. Oh, Bart Cummings, I know. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. But yeah, it's it's interesting, and people buy these horses for a lot of money. Not in my yard, but in a lot of yards, they get they put horses for a lot of money in these yards, and they don't know what happens there, and they don't see it, and they don't. I don't know. It's a weird business we're in, basically. Uzo, do not eat the horse feed. No, Uzo, he's eating everybody else's feed. He's so fat, Uzo. Um, this is the seaweed gastric supplement. That's 150 euros a tub. I actually quite like it because it has quite a lot of magnesium in it, and magnesium is good. And that's all that needs it right now. And then the other bucket is the spirulina, which I buy in a big tub and then transfer to the smaller bucket using it. This is pure spirulina, so that one the feed companies that put spirulina and stuff, they buy it like this. So, oops, you have to be careful not to use too much of it because you might need to put Velcro on your saddle the next day. But it does help with muscle development, and they do get it every day. Oh, she needs it. She needs it. The after does not. And these guys need it. Move. Dogs, dogs, dogs. And we're not having carrots at the moment because we're having to foot the bill for too many carrots, and so that's where we've economized for right now. I used to have giant sacks of carrots, which I will again, but don't have them right now. Okay, now the mixology. Yes, I probably can. Yeah, so yeah, the truth is nobody in this business makes money. Well, almost nobody. Yet we rely on people who make a lot of money to keep us afloat. Small owners, syndicate owners, and owners with one horse should think about putting it with a smaller trainer because they'll get more news. The smaller trainers have they have the same capabilities as the big guys. If you want, I mean, it's a different method of training. If somebody has over 40 horses in training, it's as the French say, "ça passe ou ça casse." They gallop them, they work them hard. The cream rises to the top. The rest either break down or fall at the bottom somewhere, or end up here. And that's how it works. So if you are an owner with one horse and you put it in a very big yard, unless that horse quickly rises to the top and shows something, it's going to be used as the leader for the other horses that are for the bigger owners that do show something. And there's a lot of people to put their horses with big name, but so and so he wins. But what they don't see is the breakdown rate behind that and how many horses that trainer has that actually never see a race course. And it's the business. I mean, we just let a horse go this morning. She was bought as a yearling. She's been putzed around in pre-training for all year long. And we finally said, listen, let's get on with it. We brought her up here. And the minute she got off the truck, I was like, oh. She was the same size when we bought her as a yearling. She didn't really grow. And she's two different horses. She's got, a big hind end and nothing in front. And we don't have the time to charge somebody 2,000 euros a month to train this because she might turn out to be a horse one day, but the chances are very, stronger that she might not. So the owners made the wise decision to leave her go, do some other job, which will be fine. She'll be a lovely horse for somebody, but it's just going to cost too much money to get her moving in on the race course. Now, if that horse had gone to a big trainer, they'd have the saddle on her. They'd be galloping her every day, and life probably would not end up as nice for her as it will with the decision that the owners made today. So think about it if you like horses, to really patronize the smaller people. It doesn't have to be me because I'm very opinionated. You might not like me, but yes, you're welcome to come and try. We have a few spots now, but not too many. I'm this up to 20 horses with 10 that aren't any good doesn't do anybody any good. I don't like to. That one horse we had, I just told the owner, I said, listen, I'm not going to take money to train this. Just put it somewhere else. There's no hope. So anyway, that's the naked truth of today's Sunday over coffee. Thank you for joining us. Those of you, this must be the time that Australians are like hanging out and having an after dinner drink or something, because you guys are the ones watching this, I think. But people might watch it later. Thanks for joining us, and see you maybe next Sunday, or maybe in 2 weeks, or maybe whenever. If you have questions, ask them and I will answer them in the comments. Subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye. Sure, my feed.